Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play. Why is sorry, I seem to be having a little bit of control issue there for a second, but it's whatever it is resolved. Yeah, but welcome back to Let's Play Ritual of the Night Bloodstained. That's almost the title. It's Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. The first game in the Bloodstained series. Not chronologically, of course. I gotta tell you, I don't know how great a Let's Play this is, because I do tend to want to grind off screen, and therefore make some of the on-screen bosses and encounters that are supposed to be tense a little less tense. But I really am enjoying this game a lot. That wasn't very nice, Bloodsword. For whatever reason, I remember Bobo is super duper loved Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and I remember him telling me to play that. I guess it was probably when I had it 360. He was like, "Oh, that's all it's on Xbox Live, PlayStation Classic or whatever." It might have been one of those deals where I'd heard too much about how awesome it was before I played it, because I enjoyed it, but I wasn't crazy about it. Yeah, but this game I'm totally into. And I'm super excited about the fact that I believe this did well enough that it's going to get a sequel eventually, I'm assuming. So I am looking forward to that already. Meanwhile, we're back in the Garden of Love and Scariness. Guy dropped another spiral sword in case we want to switch spiral swords at some point. Oh, I walked right over that enemy. And it decided not to murder me. But it was titled. Interesting how this blood moon, which is in the background, except that it appears to be between us and those towers back there. But yeah, that will be important way later in the game. And by important, I just mean that we have to come revisit that screen once we have a certain plot item that we do not have. Because we haven't gotten far enough in the game to acquire. So, if it just drops straight down here, because I think there was a similar thing here where there's an item that we could move. When I first got him, by the way, this blood sword thing was not allowing me to kill enemies with one hit. The Beast Boy. I almost made one of these and then didn't bother. Cool, she's like French resistance fighter now. Got a little beast icon. Alright, so there's less of a secret coolness down here than I thought there might be, but nevertheless, this is the room the story needs us to be in right now. Interestingly, those pork guys drop an item I still haven't gotten. It must have a very low percentage rate. To the point where I got curious and looked it up. It's a food item, so we don't really need it because we can make it later. And it might be that it doesn't drop until the first time we craft it ourselves. But so we don't even say anything to the guy. We just hop into the back seat of his chart or his vehicle.
We are here.
I'll take you someplace good. Ha ha ha. She does a little feminine sit down, crosses her legs like a lady. HP max, HP max. Move your scruff around for the HP max. Check and see if there's any hidden goodies. There's a familiar we can get later. Actually, we're probably really close to where that item drops. That will tell us if there are secret walls that can be destroyed. Kung Fu vest. I'm getting all sorts of cool new treasures here. Silver breastplate, I think I actually made. Kung Fu vest. Traditional Eastern garment designed for ease of movement. Well, Oddly, the one thing that doesn't affect her appearance is her main article of clothing, so there's no point in trying stuff on just for appearances, and the stats on that thing are not great. Hatchet Heal. When airborne, bring your heal down on enemies like the fall of an axe. Lethal Boots and Hell's Knells. You get like the Chun-Li head stomp thing. Oh, well, here's a new teleport station. That's convenient, actually. Prevents you from having to constantly redo that ride back and forth, which you can keep riding back and forth, but means you don't have to. 500 gangsters. We're actually pretty close to being able to afford a crafting item in the shop that wouldn't break the game exactly, but it's probably better. It gives us access to better weapons than we're really supposed to have right now. Probably. Or by better weapons, I mean we could afford to buy one. Remember we have that thing in our inventory, the 8-bit coin? Yeah, we're close to being able to buy a 64-bit coin. And that's because I spent time off-screen grinding and getting money drops. Money plan. But, so those guys, or gals, I suppose I should say, are a familiar as well, if you get the right item drop from them. HP max, HP max. Dancing down, baby, for the HP max. And they seem like, as enemies, they're kind of annoying. So she just relaxes near the piano. She doesn't play the piano. Okay, got it. Now we have to go all the way back here to climb back up, I suppose. Yeah, with our overpowered familiar, these guys probably won't be a problem. Oh, but here we go. Oh, and the appearance changed. I didn't notice the sword looks different when it leveled up. Familiar Caribou. Summon forth Caribous to help you. And Fairy Medicine. So what I might actually do, as much as I'm enjoying Bloodbringer, might give it a break and try the Fairy Familiar. Because it will actually tell us, and I don't know if we need to level it up for it to be better at this, but it'll tell us when we should be,
Take this.
At first I thought we had to, like, they have to kill enemies to level up. It doesn't seem to work that way. They get experience when you kill enemies or when they kill enemies. And you get experience when they kill enemies, so there's no, like, top secret off-screen grinding technique where I don't want to overlevel, but I do want items, so I let the familiar kill things for me. It doesn't seem to work like that. Anyway. But yeah, well, I don't know how much we have to rank this thing up for it to, like, if it makes a difference when it points out hidden passages and stuff to us, but as you can see, they have a tendency to, like, dash back and avoid your attacks. So they can be an irritating enemy to fight. But as a familiar, they just float around. They're not particularly good at killing enemies. There's much better familiars for damage, but they will occasionally heal you, although it takes items out of your inventory when they do so. And they tell you when there's hidden secrets. An unpleasant game of cat and mouse with the monsters forced me to retreat. Oh, but we don't know who this is writing this. I believe we find out later, and it's a bit of a, like, shocking swerve when we learn who was already in the castle exploring. But right now we're not supposed to know, so let's assume they have, like, a disguised voice like the Shockmaster or Black Scorpion.
An unpleasant game of cat and mouse with the monsters forced me into retreat. But then, while stealing through the garden, I noticed the blue treasure chest I'd plundered once before had been freshened with a new item. Who on earth could have put it there?
The game pointing out to us its own weird logical inconsistencies. There's no lore reason the blue treasure chests replenish. They just do.
Take this.
Oh. I have a feeling we might have figured out where our beast milk is going to come from. There was a big bovine-looking demon there. Take this, enemy who is nowhere near being in range. Somewhere on this screen is one of those enemies that the wailing mother enemies, which are kind of dangerous, actually. The hell is that? It's a simian. Ginger, steel, and hemp. One of the reasons I'm over leveled is I grinded off screen against these enemies to get their crystal, which I then am not even using now that I've got a bunch of them, but because yeah, they are worth a lot of experience and they're pretty dangerous, as I said. Ammo capacity, ammo capacity, ammo capacity, dancing off the curse and ammo capacity. Even with this familiar, I keep searching for hidden side stuff.
Take this.
Toad and Frog are friends. Alright. Looks like we'll be exploring a brand new zone. Oh, it's the underwater... So it's not actually considered a new area. It's the Forbidden Underground Waterway. We already got into like one screen worth of this, way on the other side of the castle.
Gotcha. Take this.
So I would imagine... I imagine the game wants us to be here now. We might be able to get a little bit farther into it than we did before, where we just seemed to find the exit.
Crimson Storm, channel your fighting spirit into a blade. Never mind, I don't think this is written by the same person who wrote the other books.
Well, you're an interesting new fellow.
Gotcha.
See, she's not doing a lot of damage either. Whereas this guy actually is. And he's... Oh, fuck, this hurts! Circular Rippers. Swing a sharp rotating disc in the designated direction. Sounds really similar to other things we have. At least that's one enemy I probably won't be grinding against like crazy off screen. Unless it drops alchemy items like me. Killed a Shovel Knight. There's like a lance armor I'm going to be looking for soon because it drops something we need to increase the grade of the blood sword familiar. Don't think if I fall down there I can get back up right this minute. So I probably want to make sure I've done the exploring I want to do over here first. Yeah, I mean, not in grave danger, but because I'm over leveled, but definitely like actually taking damage again against these higher level enemies, so that's nice. But I mean, probably if I wasn't over leveled, like every single room, you'd be like really struggling not to get hit in order to be able to get through this dungeon. We just haven't come across any little secret, you know, wall things. It's not necessarily a whole new room. Sometimes you just get an item by breaking into the wall, but we have not gotten any since we got this new familiar, so I just wanted to see how it goes about telling you, because I know that's the thing it does. Like, there's a familiar in Symphony of the Night where there's like only one place in the entire game where it says, "Hey, look over here." But you kind of need it for that secret. Okay, this is good because I was thinking of diving off into a whole new zone that we might not be able to get back. So now I can save. If it turns out it's a terrible idea, I don't think you can render the game unwinnable in any way, but if I go down there and like, oh, I shouldn't have gone down here, you can get back out of it. Shortcut. Okay, that's right. You can save armor and equipment sets. HP mags, HP mags. I picked up a shortcut and HP mags. Hi, Bat. How you doing?
Take this.
Another way this game is very much like Symphony of the Night. Like, eventually we'll get mobility techniques by the end game where, like, stuff that's supposed to be one-way trip only, we can easily get back later on with, like, late-game movement techniques. It's like the upside-down... By the time you're done exploring the upside-down castle in Symphony of the Night, you can, like, bypass big, what were meant to be gameplay blocks. In the early game, it's just like you can just ignore a bunch of stuff. Yeah, see? Why didn't you tell me that? Now that I've already hit her, she's like, here! She's not using potions and shit on me, is she? Medicine user restoring a small amount of health. Okay. They will use those potions. I think there's a way you can tell them whether or not to use potions on you. Here is a secret you've already discovered for yourself. So honestly, I might stop using this familiar and go back to the blood sword just because I'm in the habit of searching for these secrets anyway. But once in a while, you just kind of aren't thinking about it, and the game, if you have the Caribous, will tell you, hey, there's a freaking secret here. Get it. I really appreciate having you as a friend, Caribous. Here is an ungenuine woman. Here is a lying bitch. No, I really mean it. I really like having you as a familiar. Here is where I draw the line. Oh, she can fly underwater.
Gotcha.
Actually, you didn't. You really didn't. Okay, so later in the game, we will be able to swim underwater. Again, it's a Castlevania thing. Just to give you an intriguing look at an area that you can't explore yet until you've progressed and gotten more mobility tech. Summon shovel armor. That doesn't really sound that interesting. There's various crystals where it's just summon whatever, and basically a projectile that looks like... See, again. He didn't say anything until I'd already...
Suspicious.
She doesn't say anything until I'd already hit it. HP max, HP max. Thanks for nothing as far as finding HP max. So maybe when she ranks up, that'll make a difference. Sansetsuzan. Chain together up to 3 vicious strikes. I'm really not doing that much of these techniques. They cost MP, is the thing. So I'd rather use MP for my various magics. Not to mention they're for very specific weapons. Like, it's not even like, oh, I got the secret technique for shoes. It's like, nope. If you upgrade past those early game shoes where you use this, suddenly you can't use that technique anymore because it's only for these specific shoes.
Take this.
You torch. See, for some reason I thought this would just be a little one ruler. So maybe this will be a one-roomer. No, both of them are actual paths. Which one do I want to explore first? Well, this one can only go so far. It may lead back up to the top of that waterfall, actually. That would be worth checking out. Actually, if I hadn't already killed a bunch of those demons, this would be a good place to grind against them, because this is one of the few areas where they can't really just float around above you. And never mind, it turns out this is just a little steel equipment R. I think that means recipe. I think that means that before we find it, we can't craft some of these things through alchemy. It is not crafting, it's alchemy. It's a totally different game mechanic. It gives what we're thinking of calling her in the love interest, but it gives Johanna something to do. And I like the fact that the female protagonist, who's like an action badass, has a male sidekick who is not an action badass, but is simultaneously not worthless. They're just not the fighter. So I like that. God damn it! 800 hits from this frog, each one doing 1 damage. Like, I almost should just let him go out of respect, but in your respect. Level up, bitches. But yeah, clearly over-leveled with these enemies that are dealing 1 hit point of damage. Oh, there's a ruby. I've been looking for one of those. But, have not yet found a way to just replenish a supply of them. I mentioned there's a couple of items, like there's a flame whip, particularly. That I think is what it was I was looking at as a ruby in the recipe. There's pudding in the mix.
Take this.
Hippity hopping along the bunny trail here. Okay, well that was stupid. I got myself stuck to where I couldn't climb up without going around the long way.
Gotcha.
That's right. You tell him. Okay, that was annoying. The little platform disappears, which means I need to find my way back over there. I'll deal with you in a minute, demon. Oh, there's another ruby and a Renee, and an emerald. I didn't even notice that guy. And by guy, I mean Toad. A Traverser's Ring. Give me some kind of bonus based on how much of the map I've explored, or... Yep, that's exactly what it does. There's a critical ring and a unicorn ring. Amplifies restorative properties of items you use. It wouldn't be terrible if I was using items more than I currently am. Let's do the critical ring. Critical hits are good to have. Used by you and not your enemies. Yeah, I did vaguely remember from my off-screen playthrough that this section was one of the more annoying ones to me, just because of the way these rooms are arranged and how easy it is to fall down and have to repeat a lot of work.
Gotcha.
I do not see how you get to that.
Take this.
Oh.
Hi-ya.
It's going to involve a mobility technique we don't currently have, which lets you just traverse vertical distances as long as there's not like anything blocking your way. You can basically go straight up as far as you want once you've unlocked something we don't currently have. HP max, HP max. My familiar shooting with lasers and HP max. Okay. Again, like, I keep damaging it before she can say anything. Voice changer. A mask devised by a playful inventor distorts the wearer's voice. Well, there you go. Now if you want the game to be more Japanese, you just make her use this, and presumably there's some kind of schoolgirl outfit code that you can use. Because the Japanese games do have that. Like, anytime you have one of these games where you have the option of English or Japanese voice acting, check out the Japanese voice acting. Some people prefer it, obviously, you know, weebos or whatever they're called. But generally, it's just check it out because, like, all female characters... they're either like super high pitched or super low pitched. There's nothing in between for a female character in a Japanese game. Level up, bitches. Yeah, it feels like there's some side path I didn't explore a long time ago. That now, like, I wonder if we'll ever get back down there. Better go check it out now before we get too much farther, because it feels like that's definitely progresses that way. Alright, well, I'll tell you what, we'll call it a video a little bit early this time. Last one went long, this one can go just a tiny bit short. And when we come back, we'll still be exploring the underwater cavern. The Forbidden Underground Waterway, rather. I'm the Serious JG, thanks for watching, catch you next time, bye-bye.